This is Broke Money Hustle. And now, here's Broke Money Hustle with Trico and Eric.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at. This is Broke Money Hustle, the podcast that tries to encourage people to not just spend their money, but buy assets, grow their income, take on side hustles, get yourself out of debt, all those wonderful things that we're learning too late in life that we need to do. And my partner here, Trike, can commiserate. How you doing, man?
Oh, doing good, man. I wish I would have thought of it. I should have found like an old doo-wop song about splits. Like, I think there was a dance called The Splits. We should have downloaded that because today was all about those splits.
Yeah. Exciting, crazy day. A lot of brokerages having outages and not, my charts still don't even show up on Robinhood right now because they just weren't able to handle the influx of traffic because people are excited about Apple and they are excited about Tesla.
Yeah. I was kind of watching both all day. Tesla was, just kind of too rich for my taste. I didn't have enough to buy a share.
Yeah, I know. I'm hoping one of my art jobs gets paid quickly. Maybe I can move that money over and still get in under 500 a share. I don't know.
Nice.
I have to see. I'm not even sure where the stock's at right now, but I know it's gained 15% today post split, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah. Everyone, every show I listen to and everyone I talk to that invests loves Tesla. Like, I've never heard anyone say don't invest in it. Everyone seems to love it.
See, the thing with Tesla is it's one of those once in a lifetime companies. It's already over 500 now. It's 50901. It's one of those once in a lifetime companies that comes around is like trying to do everything possible to get us to that. You know how we're living in the 21st century, but it just seems like the 18th century in some ways.
Yeah.
Elon Musk is a futurist. He's all about getting us to actually live like we're in the 21st century. If he'd have come along any sooner, maybe he'd have been, giving us our jetpacks and hoverboards. But
yeah,
I mean, the guy, he's into everything. I just saw a news article today. The Neuralink chip works, and they're looking for human test subjects. No thanks.
Yeah, no.
I mean, the benefits of it sound great. You'll be able to cure some diseases by hooking the brain up to a computer, but I've seen way too many sci-fi shows that tell me this is a bad idea.
Yeah. With my medical plan, I'd probably get like a Windows 98 chip or something,
Help, my husband is being obnoxious. Well, have you tried turning him on and off again?
Yeah.
Oh, but anyway, because like everything they get into, they're succeeding at, and I can't mention Elon Musk without mentioning Jeff Bezos because he's basically, right there in the same boat. And it's amazing to me how vilified these two gentlemen are because they're wealthy and because they're creating massive businesses. I mean, between the two of them, they have innovated most of what we enjoy in the 21st century in some way right now.
Yeah. I don't understand the hate. I always see signs for Amazon where you can pretty much walk in and start off making $15 an hour, which in our area that's pretty decent,
Yeah, absolutely. And they're going to keep innovating. The Amazon Air Force is getting ready to boot up for the drone delivery. So I'm looking forward to my Aerial Eagle stock to finally start making some big moves.
Yeah.
Starting to see a little bit more rumors. There was one image just floating around Twitter. It was shared both by Amazon and by Ag Eagle. It was like a leaked image, and it's the same warehouse where they're building the drones.
Nice.
But apparently it was leaked, and it's been shared and used in for both companies. So it really seems like the rumors are true that Ag Eagle is building drones for Amazon delivery. The fact that their new Ag Eagle headquarters and a new Amazon headquarters is like not even a mile away from each other there in Wichita. So there's it seems like that's at least that'll be the test bed for drone delivery. And that's It's the 21st century stuff, electric vehicles, um, the freaking private industry taking us to Mars.
Yeah.
That Elon Musk is going to get us to Mars before he dies. That's like his big mission in life.
Yeah, we'll finally get that Jetsons future we were promised when we were
Oh my
kids.
gosh, yeah. It's incredible how much politics and like the old way of doing things has just held us back for so long.
Mhm.
I think what Musk refers to it as the great filter, and and correct me if I'm wrong, anybody who's listening, but I believe the great filter is whatever it takes for humankind to make the next jump in their, I'm not going to use the term evolution, but our next jump in technical progress. Whatever that barrier is, and for some people say the reason why we haven't met intelligent life in the universe is because we haven't gone past that great filter and become worthy of that, or what have you. But essentially, it's just the next big jump. Like the Industrial Revolution was a great filter out of the Middle Ages and the Dark Ages. We jumped from being an agricultural based society to a technological based society because of the Industrial Revolution. And harnessing electricity and all these other things, these have been like major leaps forward and have just caused the progress to keep going. So that's what we're looking at now, is that maybe this neural link is part of it. I don't know, maybe it's just a cool time, to see this stuff happening, and it's great to see these companies benefiting from us. And if you're lucky enough to own stock in these companies, you're benefiting from it too.
Exactly.
Really happy with my small position in Apple as it continues to grow. It's not growing as fast as Tesla. Apple currently at 3.79% over its initial split price. Tesla up 14.87. But you know what? Apple split just under $500 a share, and I'm really happy with my 4 shares. And I like where they're going. I think by fall, easy 200, 250 a share. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I should have jumped on it today. And this morning, or pretty much all day, I was watching it. I'm like, I'll get to 125, because sometimes I get a price in my head of what I should buy it at. I'm like, I wait and wait, and it teased it a little bit. Like this morning, it was around 126.49, and then a little bit before the market closed, it was like 127.60. So I think tomorrow I'm just going to have to.
Yeah, I would bite the bullet, man, because it's going to continue to grow. It's at 129.41 right now.
Mm-hmm.
No, just dropped to one. Well, it's fluttering between 129 and 127.
And they
I'm looking at Webull right now. Webull was a stable platform today. It was
really.
I had no problems with Webull, man, navigating stuff.
Yeah, Robinhood was a nightmare today. Every time I tried to buy something, it either aired out. One time I had enough in there to buy it and said I couldn't buy it. I had to put a limit order in. So I did that. And then because I bought a few stocks today, I put a limit order in. I'm like, okay, it's already at the limit order, so it should buy it right away. And I wouldn't buy it. And then it wouldn't let me cancel the limit order. Yeah. And I had to keep on like basically closing out of the window and reopening it, like logging out, closing the window, reopening it, and then finally let me buy some stuff. But yeah, it was a nightmare. None of my messages came through until like pretty much the end of the day. Like, you know how usually it'll be like, hooray, you just bought this, or, it makes you feel real good about buying stuff.
Well, Robin is a great platform. I absolutely love it, but it is the ground floor of investing. It's the most simple way to get into stocks. Makes it very easy to buy stocks. So there's a lot of retail investors who are doing this for the first time and have just been salivating. I mean, we've known about the splits for a long time.
Yeah.
So people have just been salivating, saving their money and waiting, and just, because they couldn't afford to buy it in at the price it was, but they're excited about the opportunity to buy it in at the split. And good on you for trying, but I would have thought that the platform should have been ready for that major traffic.
Yeah, they should have bulked up for it.
But this isn't something new, because in the cryptocurrency sphere, every time there's been a major jump in Bitcoin, Coinbase, the largest cryptocurrency exchange and wallet, has had outages. So it's like Coinbase users can't catch a break, because every time it's about ready to go to the moon, it just like locks up and doesn't work. So you miss out on that buying opportunity, and and you got to wait for their technology to catch. You'd think that they'd have the infrastructure to handle the volume, but you know what? I've been working with computers since almost when they first came out as a consumer, desktop scenario, and they've just always had issues. It's like technology makes things simpler to be more complicated.
Yeah, exactly.
I think about video games. Like, remember how great it is with video games where you would just take your cartridge, pop it in, turn it on, start playing. And now, because of the increases in technology, you pop in the disc or you download it. Oh, there's an update. Oh, it's 50 gigs. Oh, you got to wait all day for this thing to update.
Yeah. Well, and the old cartridges too. If you ever had a problem, you just take it out, blow on the cartridge, and it was fine. Like that's all you ever had to do to
largely
fix it.
the cartridge system was largely foolproof, and
Yeah.
you didn't have to worry about stuff like CDs getting scratched, which was the main cause for errors during the PlayStation, Sega Saturn, and early Xbox era.
Mhm.
Now it's like with the streaming services, you really need to have fiber optic internet if you're going to take advantage of Xbox platform or the PlayStation network and really get those games delivered on demand. Myself, I'm just enjoying those little mini consoles that have everything loaded in on there already.
Yeah.
That's the closest thing to just turning it on and starting to play that that we have nowadays.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
Well, I want to do a quick shout out here, and I'm kind of stumbling around because my cat killed a mouse last night. Unfortunately, it was my computer mouse, so I got a new one coming from Amazon on the way. But yeah, she likes to paw at the cable. She'll sit here next to me sometimes while I'm working, and she'll paw at the cable here and there. Well, she took a bite out of it and split the cord in half. So the computer mouse, the wired mouse, stopped working.
Oh.
And because of my disability, I have to use these micro portable mice for commuters, like airplane commuters. So they're really small. And it's the smallest computer mouse I think you can get, just because the way my hands are all crooked. That's what I have to use. So, and I haven't been able to find them in stores in a long time. Amazon's the only place I know I can get them.
Oh, yeah. I was just thinking. I'm like, I probably have an extra mouse around here somewhere, but it's just the regular one with a cord and everything on
Yeah,
it.
I couldn't even get my hands around a regular size mouse. I couldn't even push a button on it. It would take me two hands, one to scoot it and one to tap on the buttons with a regular mouse.
Oh, gotcha.
It's it's pretty janky. the way I have to make it accommodations sometimes. But anyway, over the weekend I had an opportunity to discuss back and forth through DMs with someone who has been listening to our show. I'm just going to give his Twitter handle. It's at NBAA Monday. He had some very nice things to say about us. He discovered our show. He's been listening to it. It's been encouraging him to get into the market. He asked for the links to Robinhood and for Glint. And you know what? If he's the only one who ever gets back to us saying that we've helped them, we've done our job. And it just made me so happy over the weekend to read his comments. So I encourage you to log into the Broke Money Twitter and read through his back and forth with me, because it was really great to see that, our mission with this podcast was to try to help people in our same situation get out of the paycheck to paycheck, start buying assets, not buying stuff, stop doing the poor people things, start doing the rich people things, yada, yada, yada. Pay yourself first. And this gentleman, he's doing it. He's starting off, and I wish him all the best luck. Again, if you're listening right now, thank you very much for the kind words. But please don't take our advice. Do your own research. Learn these things for yourself. I gave him some names like Stock Dweebs and Mike Maloney and Mark Moss to look at on YouTube to start getting that education in there and start learning about these things. And just encourage him to buy companies he knows really well, and just keep putting some money aside with gold there, because that's a really great system with Glint to use the credit card. But anyway, I just wanted to shout out for that, because we really do appreciate when we get comments like that, because that tells us that what we're doing here is worth it. And,
Yeah.
Got to keep at it.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm glad he reached out. And I'm glad someone out there is listening to us or listening to the show. At least.
It's interesting because based on Anchor, our demographics are women in their 60s. That's our biggest demographic. So hello, everyone. And hopefully you're enjoying the content. We try to keep things funny, but remember, we're not financial experts. We're not stock investment experts. We're just two broke money guys trying not to be broke anymore and take our money that we have wisely. So
Yeah. We're not even really podcast experts.
no, not at all. Not at all. If it wasn't for StreamYard and some of our comic book stuff, we wouldn't even know how to do this stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
But we are happy to be here. So let's talk about your picks for the week. Your date Mary kills. What's going on?
All right. Let's see. This week I kind of became a polygamist with my Marys.
What?
Yeah. I didn't buy anything for like 2 weeks, and then today I started a couple weeks ago, probably a month ago now. I started a spreadsheet, and when I did the spreadsheet, I kind of put in what the stock was going for. So I didn't buy anything for a couple weeks because I'm like, oh, nothing's on a dip. I'm not getting it for a good deal. And then I looked at my spreadsheet. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Like a few weeks ago, this thing was like $5 more. So technically it is on a dip. So I kind of tricked myself into buying some stuff today. So first one up, we have ticker symbol AMCR.
Okay, we have AmeriCorps PLC.
Yep. Let's see. This one is a dividend aristocrat. Bought this one today. A lot of the ones I bought today, for a while, I was on a kick where I was coming in and buying them right before the ex-dividend date. And I was like, haha, I got it, right before the date. So I'm going to get dividends this day, or in a couple months. The ones I bought today, none of them were near the dividend date. So it took some of the thrill out of it. But like a lot of them were cheaper than whatever I recorded in my spreadsheet a few weeks or almost a month ago. So I felt like I got a lot of them on a pretty good deal. Let's see. And then another one is CWT.
Well, first of all, what is this company? Like, who is this and what do they do?
Oh, yeah, let me pull them up here. Oh, yeah. They do consumer packaging.
Oh, okay.
And they were on the list for aristocrats. I was like, I'll buy this one. Good dividend, 4.2% dividend yield.
Wow, that's pretty good, especially for an $11 stock.
Oh yeah, it's pretty good. Picked it up for $11.08, so of course it went 2 cents cheaper right after I bought it. And I'm so frugal, like 2 cents. The main thing is, like, when I look at my portfolio, it shows up as red, even though it's only 2 cents. So it kind of irks me,
Right.
So, okay, then next one is CWT. If I remember right, this is California Water or something. Yeah, California Water.
They don't really have a good track record for knowing what to do with water over there.
Yeah.
Like the whole state is still on fire because they don't know what to do with water over there.
How do we get rid of this fire? But yeah, they've been on like a downward slide lately, and I'm like, well, they're, I'm like, well, it's not like they're gonna go out of business. People are gonna need water, so I'm like, I'll go ahead and buy it, even though it's been on like a downward slope. Yeah, for at least a week. Yeah, about a week.
Well, hopefully you're buying the dip,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is another one. Right after I bought it, went down 9 cents. So, but yeah, I got it for $45.43 today. It's a dividend king, so it shouldn't be going anywhere because they've been around. This one's been around about 100 years. Dividend yield's not that great. It's 1.76, but I'm on this kick now where I think there's only 30 companies that are dividend king. So I'm on a kick to try and get at least one share in each company.
Mm-hmm. Gotta collect them all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I got that one today, and then next one is Hormel, HRL. I've been trying to buy this one for a while. I should have bought it A couple months ago when it was like $48 or $46 when it first kind of got on my radar, and lately it's been around 50 or above. And it finally got down to around $50.78 today. So I bought one share. I've been eyeing it forever. According to my spreadsheet, like a couple weeks or a month ago, it was up to 55. So I justified it by saying like, oh, it's down $4 from whenever I made the spreadsheet. So I should have dated, so I could kind of look and see like, well, was it a few months ago?
Right.
Anyways, they're another one that's a dividend king. And Hormel chili, anyone that's had it's pretty good. So, and
I mean, it's your basic chili, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the chili we grew up eating as kids.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, if we were lucky, it was heated up. But and they make a ton of other stuff. And food stocks seem like they usually do pretty well. So I bought a stock of this. Dividend's not anything crazy. It's 1.77%, but they've been around for 130 years. Like they've just been around forever. And I'm familiar with a lot of their food products because I do like to eat. So this was one I was just hoping to get it for a while. And then today I was like, yeah, I'm going to buy it. I think a lot of it was I had that mindset of I'm going to buy stuff today on the split. And then I was watching the split and then, ended up, yeah, it's like when you go to the store to buy one thing and you end up buying a bunch of other stuff and forget what the thing you went into the store to buy. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And then next one's DOV. Dover.
DOV.
Yep.
Ooh, that's a pricey one.
Yeah. This one I kind of splurged on because very few stocks I own that are around $100. Most of them I stay in the $50 range. But I had, some money kind of that I was saving for Apple, and Apple didn't go down to where I wanted to get it. So I'm like, well, maybe I'll just buy this, I got it for $109.86, so it was pretty good. Of course, it went down 2 cents after I bought it. This is another one. I think they're a dividend king as well.
Well, what do they do?
Like engineering and testing stuff.
Okay.
Fluid systems, refrigeration, food equipment.
Oh, nice.
That kind of thing. Let's see. I'm not really familiar with the business. I'm just like, they got a good track record, and people always need refrigeration stuff. So I'm like, they'll be good. Yeah. I probably should have done more DD on it, but I'm like, it's a dividend king. I can trust them, I guess. Yeah.
How long have you been watching it? Because back in July, it was $92 a share. So it's uptrending pretty well. You'll get, looking at here, we got a peak and then a small valley and then a peak, valley, peak, valley. So I would say it's probably due for another peak and then another valley if it continues its current trend. I
just gotta not sell on the valleys like I have a habit of doing.
Exactly. Buy some more on the valleys. So you got 3 companies you're dating.
And then my date today. This was.
These are Marys.
Yeah, those are all Marys.
Okay.
So they're all dividend kings. I'm going to hold on to them forever, reap the benefits of getting some dividends from them. Right now I have REITs set up, drips. I have drips set up. So all the dividends, it's just getting used to kind of buy more of the stock. Hopefully, ideally, when I'm old and everything, my dividends will pay my, my property taxes or, my rent at the old folks home or something. Ideally.
That's the goal. It's I get my dividends from my biggest dividend right now is still Nvidia. Mm-hmm. And I love looking at the fact that I bought it in the 300s and it's $534 right now. So.
Nice. That's a good ROI.
Yeah. Well, I love that company too. I cannot wait for the new cards. The new cards are coming out soon. We've already had the pricing leaked. Looks like they're getting rid of the TI line of cards. Mm-hmm. and just doing straight numbers. So instead of a TI, you're getting a 3090, where it would be a 3080 Ti. And they used to do a super, so it looks like that's been dropped to, and pricey cards, but my gosh, it's a monster. 24 megabyte for
Nice.
the 3090.
Yeah.
Or 24 gigs. Yeah, 24 gigabyte 3090 video card. Super fast on ray tracing. It's going to be a huge bump in performance for me when I get that in there.
Sweet. And so that'll kind of increase your productivity and everything? Because
I
there
don't know
won't
if
be any
it'll, I
lag,
don't know
right?
if it'll increase my productivity or not, but well, you know, it might, because I do have a few programs where I'm traditionally trained in 3-dimensional design and stuff. I do sculpting. I've been trying to start a toy company for years. I got a 3D printer collecting dust back there. And so, yeah, the boost in performance there should be really nice.
Sweet. Cool.
All right, so let's get back to your picks.
Oh, yeah. So my date, this is, you know how we joke around about me doing day trades? So, this one I bought last week on the 25th for, oh, I'm sorry. NAK is the ticker symbol.
Oh, yeah, my Northern Dynasty minerals.
Yeah.
I've owned this one. I sold it for a small profit, and then I bought back into it again, and now I'm losing money on it.
Oh, I bought it the 25th for 59 cents. I'm like, because you know how for a while when silver was up, like everyone was selling silver because it was up, you know?
Yeah.
And then as soon as it kind of went back down $1 or $2 to, you know, kind of where it has been, all of a sudden I couldn't find any silver to buy. So I'm like, well, maybe I'll buy some mines or stocks and mines, you know, because that's kind of like owning silver. So I bought it the 25th for 59 cents. And then today, I was, you know, just messing around on Robinhood, I saw it was up to $1.02. So I was like, cha-ching, and I sold my one share for
Oh my gosh.
for like a profit.
You're gonna have to
of
pay
63.
taxes on that 50 cents, you know.
Yeah.
Capital gains on 50 cents. It's like a quarter.
Yeah. An extra quarter in my pocket.
So seriously though, like I've been following this one for a while, because I have quite a few shares of NAK, and I bought back in at like $2.30. So I'm losing big time money on this stock right now.
Oh,
The reason why they plummeted is because the administration basically told him, look, you can't start mining until you do all of this other stuff, and they basically have to preserve, I don't think it's wetlands, but they have to do a lot of stuff around the area of the mine to satisfy the EPA guidelines or whatever that is put in place. So that tanked their stock. That's why it went down 50%. As soon as they make, then they're all in on making these adjustments. So as soon as they make these adjustments, then they're back in business. So it looks like, you know, I'm going to have to hold this one for a while until they get into the ground, so they can legally get into the ground, find out what they got, and then it should be a good stock again. But yeah, that's the story behind why it went down to your 50 cents.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my my big profit. Made my money work for me today. And then my kill. This one I never even bought. We don't talk too much about like it's a UVV is the symbol for it.
Universal Corp.
Yeah.
Sounds like a really generic company.
Yeah, right. So I've been watching this thing forever because I think it's like a king or aristocrat. So I've been watching it forever, and you know, kind of watching. It was kind of going down today, and you know, it kind of had like the generic name. I'm like, oh, it's probably, you know, some like holding company for financial stuff or whatever. But they're in the tobacco business, you know, and like I'm not a big fan of smoking or tobacco or anything. So this was one, it's a kill, even though I never dated it or married it or anything.
So how are you killing it if you never owned it?
Oh, I took it off my list.
Oh.
Yeah. I was like, you're dead to me, and just erased it from the list. But
lousy smokers.
Yeah. It's you know, we don't get too much into like business ethics or anything here, but like the tobacco ones, I can't clear conscious like own a tobacco stock, you know. Um, Same thing happened a few years ago when I was working at a retail place, and I was a store manager of a retail place, and they gave us like a really good stock option where you could get the stocks like, yeah, I think it was like 20 or half off whatever the stock was going for. So every week I bought like a share of the stock with my check, and it went up like crazy. I made like $100 off each stock. But when I left the company, I sold it because I'm like, well, I don't feel right because it's a retail place, so they're paying everyone, you know, like minimum wage, and you know they're making all these profits. So it was one of those things where I was like, I should have held on to it because now I think it's up to like, you know, double what I paid for it 5 years later. but at the time I was just like, I don't feel right about it. But yeah, every once in a while I have like a conscious thing where I'm like, you know.
Well, it's important that you don't disobey your conscience, because it's really going to lead to some more trouble and headache. So whatever your conscience is informing you, just stay in line with it, and you'll be all the more saner for it.
Yeah. Even though it does hinder my portfolio when I listen to my conscience. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there are other companies too. You know, it's not like you're locked into buying something that you don't want. Because I think about like some of the things I've passed on is like, there's a lot of Chinese companies that I'm just like, nope, just because they're Chinese owned.
Just nope out of it.
Yep. In fact, I've pretty much divested of everything Chinese connected except for IDEX, and IDEX is an American company who's run by Shane McMahon from WWE, and then the other gentleman who is American, but he is from China originally. And it's a global corporation, though. They have places in Malaysia, offices in New York, then the Meg is in China. So they're not necessarily a Chinese company; it's a global company that has some operations in China. So I guess that's my gray line.
Yeah, no, I hear you. There's one company I bought a share of it. It had dividends. It had really good growth. It's a local a chemical company, kind of local to our area. But my wife showed me like some news articles where they were testing on animals or something. So then I sold my shares. I made a little off of it, but as soon as I sold the shares, it went up even more. Plus it pays dividends, and I'm like, you know?
Well, for me, I'm watching a couple of different things happened. Another thing that happened over the weekend was I own shares in Smith & Wesson brands.
Mm-hmm.
And one share of this American Outdoor Brands just appeared in my portfolio out of nowhere. Turns out there's a little known thing where a company does a, what do you call it? Now, a terrible time for my head to have a brain fart. Spin-off. So they do a spin-off. So Smith & Wesson is taking some of its businesses and they spun it off into another company called American Outdoor Brands. And presumably this is all of their non-firearm stuff. And they issued, depending on how many shares of Smith & Wesson you own, they issued you shares of this American Outdoor Brands automatically. So
sweet.
Yep,
so it's like a freebie.
Yeah, it's a freebie. Popped right in there. Smith & Wesson Brands still doing pretty good. It's currently trading at $18 a share. This is $15 now. And the share the Smith & Wesson Brands didn't really take a hit. I'm still doing pretty well as far as my position on that one goes. I'm still, my returns have been in the positive since I purchased it. Where's my gains? Okay. So yeah, it's given me a 34% return still since I first bought my shares in Smith & Wesson Brands.
Oh, cool.
So, but I didn't even know this was a thing where it's apparently it's something that happens. It's not uncommon, but it's not common, where a company forms another company and they just issue shares to their shareholders of this new company. So
nice.
So I guess you could say that's like a date for me. It just popped up out of nowhere. There's no reason for me to get rid of it. So it'll be my side chick.
Awesome. I wonder if that's what happened that one time. I had that Phantom stock that popped up and I couldn't figure out why. And I'm like, I'll sell this, and I sold it.
Let's see. There's another one I'm looking at. I don't think is that the right one? No. Yes, here we are. This is one that Stock Dweebs put up, and I'm watching it myself to see if I want to take a position.
Lemonade Inc.
Lemonade Inc. Yeah, basically Robinhood for insurance.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so this is a fintech company. See if I can bring up the website.
Oh, just brought up lemonade.
So yeah, basically this is being able to use your cell phone to buy insurance. When you file a claim, you're talking to AI. It's supposed to be a smooth, streamlined process for renters, for homeowners, and it's definitely, it's built to appeal to this for the same reasons that Robinhood appeals to new traders. It's an easy thing. This looks like it's mostly operating in UK because it's in British pounds. I'm seeing that, but a lot of people don't know about this service yet. So I think it's one of those things where this is a good ground floor opportunity because I could definitely see this type of thing catching on. Let's take a look at. Let's see it in action. Let me. I don't think I shared the screen properly, so I'm going to remove this and then go to.
Do you like a full screen?
No, I didn't click the audio part.
Oh, okay.
And I want to make sure I get the audio because I want to pretty much kind of wrap up with looking at this. So let's see the app in action. Get insurance in 90 seconds with Lemonade's app. Now, presumably what's going on here with the app is all an AI bot that has a stock photo for a face.
Really?
Yeah. Our AI crafts a personalized policy for you. You customize and adjust your coverage. Pay for it. I love how cute everything is in fintech.
Yeah. Especially the music, it kind of makes it sound like an old school Game Boy game or something.
AI Jim will ask you some questions. I just wonder if his image has been generated by AI or if it's a stock photo.
No, yeah, that's true.
So, I don't know. Yes.
I wonder, can you lie to it and say you have a bunch of expensive stuff in your house? And then
probably not a good idea to test it with fraud.
Yeah. I have original Van Gogh in my house. Someone broke in and stole it.
All right, that was the presentation. I don't know anything about this company. That's why I haven't bought any stocks yet. It's something that I'm going to do my own DD, my own research on, see if it's something that I want to take a position in. But honestly, if I could buy stock in the Robinhood trading platform, I would definitely do it. And everybody has to have insurance. It's one of those requirements.
Yeah.
This seems like a really good, like, zillennial thing. Millennials are probably, they're going to just find out about it and adopt it because they adopt tech quick. But for like our daughter's generation, this is going to be normal for them.
Yeah.
To buy services like this. So anytime any sort of like technological company, like a fintech, financial technology, that's what fintech means, comes up like this as a platform, it just makes it so easy and economical. It's one of those set it and forget it type things. And think about the overheads, no agents. There's another job waiting to get lost. We we get into arguments with some of our friends because our friends are poor people like us, but they still do the poor things. They expect their job at McDonald's to pay for their house and their 4 kids.
Yeah, when that article about the burger flipping robot was going around, everyone, like a lot of people I know in that industry, were freaking out.
Yeah, I know. And with the kiosks that came into the grocery stores and Walmart,
Yeah,
and everybody was like, I want a real person to check me out. This is taking their jobs. Like, well, this is the nature of progress. This is what progress really means. It's some jobs are going to go away. We don't use horse and buggy anymore.
yeah,
We did not cry and whine about the wagon manufacturers going out of business because the Model T came out.
yeah,
So this is the nature of progress. And if you really want to, make some money off of it, be a part of it, you got to keep your eyes out for this type of thing. So I think, if the DD looks good, this is something that I want to put a good chunk of money in, because I could definitely see this. Because so far, I don't even think there's any competitors for it like this. I could definitely see, you think about the traditional insurers right now that we have that are kind of digital, like Geico, for example.
Mm-hmm.
The Progressive. I had Progressive for a little while. Its app was really good, but it's still a people company. Still a lot of overhead.
Yeah.
Something like this has potentially almost no overhead, especially with like personnel costs and stuff like that. So they can pass those savings on to their clients. And insurance, let's face it, is a racket. It's basically legalized racketeering for insurance providers, because you're paying a fee on the chance something as bad is going to happen. If something bad happens and you didn't pay that fee to get the insurance, then you're out everything, or you might get held liable for suit. There are all these bad consequences that can possibly happen to you. So it makes it a kind of a requirement to, partake in this racketeering scheme called insurance. And, but it's a necessary evil in society, I guess. So this is this is something new. It's exciting, but I could definitely see traditional insurance companies adopting this method, because they're going to get more people to adopt it, because it's this cute fintech thing that everybody loves. So. Yeah. And it'll bring down their costs, and they can get rid of agents. They can lower their balance sheets. So that's the nature of progress. So this is why I'm watching this company Lemonade.
Oh, exactly. Especially it's on an app, and I think anything that's on an app nowadays is, it's going to do pretty well, because that's
for sure.
Like you were saying, our daughter's generation, everything they do is on an app now.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're not going to call someone. Like, try and get a teenager to call someone now. It's impossible. Like, they won't do it.
Here's your rotary phone.
Yeah.
I love those YouTube videos where they have like young kids trying to use a rotary phone, and they're just beguiled by it.
Yeah.
Absolutely dumbfounded.
Yeah. I remember I used to be the master at it, because I didn't have to wait for it to go all the way back. I could keep down the numbers as the thing's turning backwards.
Oh, yeah. You'd catch the right loop.
Yeah. Exactly.
But you know what? It's our old tech we grew up on is going to become chic geek at some point. So I could see a rotary attachment for a smartphone, just for the novelty's sake.
Oh, exactly. All the what do they call them? The hipsters.
Yeah, the hipsters.
Bring back the old stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Although I don't know. I don't know if 8-tracks will make a comeback or not. But
maybe. I had someone arguing with me about VHS tapes. And I'm like, no, they were bad. That's why we got rid of them.
Yeah. You want to know the reason why Betamax failed? The adult film industry supported VHS because it was cheaper.
Oh, yeah.
That's the entire reason why we didn't watch home videos on Betamax afterwards. Instead, everything was VHS.
Yeah.
Little uncomfortable factoid there on Broke Money Hustle.
Little history note here on Broke Money Hustle.
Yep. So anyway, I'm watching this new stock that popped up for Smith & Wesson Brands. I'll keep it around. It's basically free money for me for the most part. And my only big thing right now is I'm currently watching Lemonade and seeing if it's something that I want to put a good amount to. This isn't something that I'd probably buy one share. I'd probably try buy 4 or 5 at a time and see where it goes. But I did make sure that you're doing this at home. Do your own DD, your due diligence, do your own research, see if it's a good fit for you. I'm a tech guy. I'm into a lot of the different tech stocks. This seems like a no-brainer for me, but I want to know the fundamentals and if it's a good thing. And you know what? I've been following Stock Dweebs on YouTube and Twitter long enough. He is a master at picking some good stuff. There's a lot of things that he posted. He posts on Twitter on Sunday nights, his picks for the week. And there's been a few times that I'm like, you know what? I wish I'd had the capital on hand to take advantage of him, because I would have definitely made some good money with his picks. And this is one that he's looking at too. So I think it's wise for me to look at it as well.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Hopefully he's listening too.
It'd be nice to get him on the show. I'm trying to reach out to more of the Twitter money people and get more people on the show, because we love having guests. And if you're listening and you've got a story, like Stacy last time, she's been doing these health and beauty products as a nutritionist, started her own business. I saw her post today on Facebook where she was able to pay for her medical bills in cash and buy some new computers and go travel the world with her husband in cash because of the money she's made at this home-based business with It Works. My coffee came in the mail, so I tried it for the first time today. I didn't want to make a separate cup of coffee with it because it's like dehydrated packets of this coffee is for weight loss.
Oh, okay.
So I just poured it in my regular cup of coffee, which there's already a pot made downstairs. So I just poured this other coffee into this other coffee. So that's how I'm going to give it a shot.
Nice.
Maybe I'll be pretty wired. I feel pretty good right now. Usually I'm really dragging by midday because of my chronic pain and joint stuff, but I'm actually feeling pretty good right now. So maybe it's going to be a good boost. I don't know. But today was day one with the It Works skinny brew coffee. So I'll chime in every once in a while and see how that's, and let you all know how that's going. But it is another opportunity for out there. So if you go back to our past episode on YouTube, click in the description. You can contact Stacy and become a part of her team and selling these products, and take a look. There's lots of other stuff on there. There's stuff for hair, face, your skin. There's teas, keto friendly stuff. So it's a health and wellness type of company. Might be a good fit. Took the missus out door dashing with me last night. That was a fun little adventure.
Awesome. How'd that go?
The first one of the night was really bad because we went to this terrible McDonald's. And I swear, every McDonald's in the metropolitan Detroit area is utter trash. This McDonald's, there was just a bunch of kids that didn't know what they were doing. They had no ice cream. They had no soft drinks whatsoever. Like, I don't know if they broke the machine. I don't know if they didn't know how to restock it. There was clearly no adult present to fix any of these problems. And they were just kind of all meandering and wandering around. Well, the person on the DoorDasher is like, well, can I get the food that they do have? I'm like, yes, I can bring it to you. No problem. But I couldn't get through the app without telling it that I had all the items. So, I mean, it pains me to do this, but I had to lie and click through the app just so I could get to her directions to her house. Because that directions to her doesn't pop up till you click through it. The guy at McDonald's was like, well, why don't you just click through it? Blah, blah. I'm like, so DoorDash, please fix your app so that if this stuff happens again where the restaurant, the merchant is, being a douchebag about things, that I can actually say, merchant did not have app, merchant did not have this, merchant did have this, so they can get the refund process quicker. I don't even know if this person's going to follow up with them or not. I think they just wanted their fries really bad, but you hate to run into those circumstances, and it was really disheartening for my wife on the DoorDash for that to be a big negative experience, trying to figure out how do we maneuver this that hasn't come up yet. So, and hopefully it won't come up again in the future. But it's just like every McDonald's I've ever gone to in this area, it's just like, why am I going here? It's just going to be a disappointment. Anyway, so that was the adventure there. But I do definitely support the company. I put in the notes that, look, I delivered the food because that's what the customer wanted. They didn't get this and this and this because the merchant didn't have it. So hopefully it gets resolved somewhere on the back end. I don't know. Maybe, hopefully I don't get punished and lose the $6.50 on that delivery. But, this stuff happens. I was really surprised that the app internally did not have a solution for merchant does not have what customer ordered. All I could do was text her through the app, and she's like, well, just, can you bring my fries? That's basically the only response I got, because I was trying to tell her
McDonald's fries.
I was trying to tell her, look, cancel your order or change it. And apparently that didn't come through. And my wife's getting worried, like, this food's going to get cold if we don't get it to her. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. Click, 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 click. We'll just let it all sort out in the end.
Yeah.
Anyway, but hey, I know you've got a thing to get to, so we need to break off. If you want to go ahead and duck out, it's 6 o'clock. I'll go ahead and end the show.
Cool.
Get to your home, your school meeting or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. I didn't have to drive to the school for the open house tonight. It's all online. Why couldn't we have done this for the last couple of years?
No kidding. All right. Hey, anyway, everyone, thank you for listening to the show. Thank you for wherever you're downloading it, whether it's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you for listening on the Indie Volt Network. I am sure there are thousands upon thousands of you worldwide listening to us right now. I believe it airs on Thursday, so happy Thursday to you if you're listening through the app. Thank you. And please, if you can, reach out to us if you've got a side hustle, anything like that. We are at Broke Money on Twitter, Broke Money Hustle on Instagram, Broke Money Hustle on YouTube and on Facebook, and you can reach us through any of the direct messaging apps throughout those platforms. We love having guests, so we'd love to have somebody, once we vet you, make sure that it's not a scam. We'd love to have you on to talk about your company, your business, your side hustle, your investment portfolio, and what you've been doing with it, whatever you want to do. So yeah, please reach out to us. And thank you very much for listening to Broke Money Hustle.
This is Broke Money Hustle.